Hey, what's up? It's Kevin the Tech Ninja, and I've been using the iPhone 13 for 2 days, and here are my thoughts. This video is touching on the Pro and the Pro Max, as I've used both of those phones during these 2 days, I would say pretty evenly. Now, first of all, if you're looking for a new phone experience from the iPhone 12, then you won't find it here. You know, year after year, we've been saying that this year feels like a small update. But when you have 3 or 4 years of small updates, you get a great device year over year. And if you have an older iPhone, let's say a XS, then the 13 feels like a brand new phone, and it feels like a huge jump from the older phones. Now, for me off the bat, the one thing that I noticed was the 120Hz ProMotion display. This is a feature that nerds, including myself, have been begging for. This means the device reacts quicker to touch and animations look smoother. It's something that not everyone notices, but it adds to the overall fluidness of the device. There aren't many 120Hz games optimized for the phone just yet, but of course those will eventually come soon, as the iPad has plenty of games that are optimized for 120. Now, this is only for the 13 Pro, as the regular 13 and the Mini doesn't have the ProMotion display. So the notch on the display is also smaller, and people are excited about that, but honestly, I don't think about it. Like, I never thought about the notch. I just kind of use the phone, so it being smaller doesn't impact me at all, as when it was bigger, I didn't think about it too much, but it is something worth mentioning, and people are excited about that. Now, speaking of forgetting about, if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another video. I got plenty of good stuff coming down the pipeline for iPhone, so hit subscribe right now. So of course, we saw a round of updates for the camera, the new chip, and a few new modes. Now, I'm not a person who falls in love with the hype of camera modes. I'm more of a basic camera shooter, you know, automatic mode and portrait mode. I haven't done a panel shot in years, and I know Android makers like Samsung likes to add things like food mode and AR and all these things. I don't use those features. I want point and shoot. But the macro mode on the iPhone is really enjoyable to use. Now, I like that it's not a setting, it's not a mode. You simply get closer to the subject and it switches automatically to macro mode. So it does take some time to kind of figure out the best angle, and in dark areas, it just doesn't work great because it does require that light. But most of the times, I'm pretty happy with the results. I am also a big fan of the cinematic mode on video. It's a lot better than I thought it would be. The best way to describe it is that it's portrait mode for video, but depending on what's going on, the camera will adjust focus. So if there's like 2 people talking, it'll focus on the person closest to the camera. But then if you tap on the other person's face, it will focus on them. Or if you tap and hold, it will lock on that person. If you're not locked on a person and one person turns their head, it will then switch focus to the person looking at the camera. Also, as someone walks into frame, that person will be in focus as soon as they make their way into the shot. It is really cool. It is absolutely fun to play with. And then in post or edit mode, you can then change the focus points at any time too. So yeah, it's really cool to play with. And you know, I'm not sure if a lot of people will use this feature, but I know I will be using this when I'm making video and I don't want to lug my camera around. But I will say there's a drawback that it's not in 4K, it's capped at 1080p. I guess beyond the camera, the higher refresh rate and the smaller notch, there isn't a lot of things different about this device on the outside, and that's okay. You know, there's some different colors, but of course, you know, we talked about this before, my sponsor dbrand can give you whatever color you want, different styles, different textures, so the color thing isn't a big deal because, you know, let's say you want the gold and you can't find the gold, go to dbrand, grab yourself a gold skin, slap it on, and you're up and running. So not a big deal. Hit the links down below to debrand your device and to get the color you actually want. So iOS 15 just rolled out too, and it's not obviously unique to this iPhone, but there are a couple things in iOS 15 that I like, and it's on the new iPhone, so I guess I want to talk about it. I really like the new focus modes. This is like phone profiles based on what you're doing. So if you're working, you can put it in work mode, and then you can tell it which apps can send you notifications. It changes your home screen based on those apps. Or if someone calls you, what happens? Does it ring? Does it not ring? If someone's going to text you, it tells them ahead of time that your notifications are silent, and that do they want to send it anyways with notification, or if not, it will send it, and then we turn notifications back on, the message will come back through. So I think this is really cool. The new maps has much more details in certain cities like San Francisco. You can go physically inside of some buildings, and all Apple parks, you can actually check out the real layout. It's fun, but it's not a huge change. And for me, reliability in maps is more important than these fun features. I am interested in see how it traverses areas when I use navigation, because Apple Maps historically has not been as good as Google. Now, I do love the Live Translate app. It works on the device, so internet connection isn't needed, and it's really fast to use. I can feel confident using it if I need to look up a quick word, or if I'm working on my Spanish and I want to make sure I'm saying it correctly. Yeah, so I think that works pretty good, and it's going to be my new go-to language app. There's so many great little features that makes iOS 15 fun to play with, but remember, if you have an iPhone 12, you can still get this update, not unique to the iPhone 13, but I just wanted to mention it. Now, battery is much better than on my 12, and honestly, I felt like the 12 battery has gotten worse over the past few months. So, you know, I'm used to around 9 to 10 o'clock, the phone may start to die, but right now on the 13, I'm at around, where am I at? 30% right now, and it's 10:48 p.m. So battery is good so far. I mean, if I can go from 6 a.m. to midnight and still have 30%, I'm good with that. Anyways, that was just a couple days with the iPhone 13. Is it worth picking up? Of course, it always depends on a lot of factors, but if you want the latest, greatest iPhone, of course, grab yourself the 13. For me, I don't think the Pro Max has a huge advantage this year outside of the bigger display, but as far as camera and everything else, it's exactly the same. So for me, I went with the Pro as I like the smaller screen. But anyways, that's it. Kevin the Tech Ninja, have yourself a great day. I'll see you guys later. Peace.